Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing an organizing and unboxing video because my skin has been acting up. I think my dermatitis wants to pop back up. I was going to film a makeup tutorial today, but I just want to give my skin a break from makeup and I just don't want it to... You see like the red dots around my mouth? They're not like bumps or anything, but they feel like they're gonna break out into dermatitis. It's just this feeling that I get. I feel like I have a sixth sense about dermatitis at this point because I've had it so many times. But I'm gonna give my skin a break today and tomorrow. There will be 3 videos this week. I know I haven't done a decluttering video in a while, so the decluttering video is usually in the middle of the week. Instead, there will be 2 other makeup videos for the rest of this week. So it's just kind of like switched around. First, I just have a couple boxes to open. I've been doing really good with keeping up with my room and making sure I open boxes as they come in and not like letting them pile up. So I only have a few boxes here, but I'm pretty excited about them because they're all from like really good brands. Okay, this first box is from Stila. It looks like it's just going to be 2 eyeliners. So they're both liquid eyeliners. One of them is a micropoint and one of them is hydrofuge. I don't know what that means. So one of them's just like really tiny and the other one is a regular one. Okay, next is Urban Decay. This is the Sin Afterglow 8-Hour Highlighter and Blush Palette, which actually brings me to what I'm decluttering today. I wanted to wait to declutter my palettes like to the end of decluttering my makeup, but I have to do them now because I have so many that aren't able to fit in a drawer, in the drawers that I currently have. Oh, this looks nice. So it's just like a blush, I think this is bronzer and highlighting palette. Obviously this highlighter and these wouldn't work for me, but the bronzer and the blushes look really nice and this highlighter looks really pretty too. Then we've got 2 Too Faced boxes. All right, so it's in a little box like this. I'm not really sure what this is. It's fun to be a girl, and then there's a big long message. This collection is called the Clover Collection, inspired by my fur baby. These new products, the liquid lipsticks and the makeup bag, both capture the fun and glamour of his adventures. Too Faced is donating to 3 animal welfare causes we hold to our puppy-loving hearts. We will be donating $250,000 to the 3 animal charities. Wow, that's really amazing actually. So we've got a melted matte liquid lipstick and then a big makeup bag. It's actually a pretty good size. It'd be good for travel. And this is what the lipstick looks like. It's like a mauve-y purplish pink color. It's actually a really nice color. Okay, and as for the big package of Too Faced, they sent over this huge thing of their natural matte eyeshadows and face palettes. So we first got the natural matte eyeshadow palette. It's actually really pretty packaging. I've got a lot of natural matte eyeshadow palettes though, so it's like what? Then we've got the natural face palette. Actually looks really nice. I could use a few colors out of this palette. And then we've got the natural eyes palette, which has some like metallic colors in it too. I really like the packaging. I wish that they would have added a palette with color. Like I've got so many natural eyeshadow palettes, especially from Too Faced. It's like, how many more can you need, you know? Then we've got a bronzer. This is a dark chocolate Soleil. Another one, it's a bit lighter. I could probably use that. Then we've got like a matte and a shimmer side bronzer and an even lighter chocolate Soleil. I could actually really get some use out of this. That's a nice color. Then we've got a bunch of these lipsticks held together by a little gooey piece of grossness. So they're just regular lipsticks. These actually look really nice. I've been really into using regular lipsticks like all the time now. I'm kind of over matte liquid lipsticks just because they're kind of crusty sometimes and they're a little bit uncomfortable sometimes and I just don't really like them. That's really pretty. I like the scent of it. It's kind of got like a really light vanilla scent to it. Of course it looks weird on my face now because I don't have any makeup on. Alright, so getting started with the palettes. First I just wanted to show you guys. These are all the palettes that have been sitting on top of my desk for the past they've just been growing over the past couple months because I don't have any more room. These drawers right here, these 3 are my 3 palette drawers and they're all like packed full. I don't know where to put these palettes. So I really need to like actually declutter all of these palettes so I can fit my newer ones in the drawers. Oh my god, I'm out of breath. Alright, So let's first start out by just getting rid of all the palettes that I haven't touched in a while and the ones that I don't think I'll be touching in a while. Alright, so this is a Model's Own palette. I just have so many palettes like this. I feel like I'm gonna hit so many palettes that I want to keep in case I want to do a look with them. But I just have so many palettes like this and it just, I don't know. I'll keep this one for drugstore looks. Let's go with that because I haven't used it yet. Then we've got our Nabla Dreamy eyeshadow palette. I actually love this palette. I just wish the eyeshadows were a little bit bigger, but other than that, I love this palette. Then we've got this Urban Decay palette I have not touched. Honestly, it just doesn't really appeal to me. I don't know why. The colors just kind of are random and there's not very many matte colors. Like pretty much all of these colors are metallic or shimmery except for this black one. And this gray is kind of matte, but there's still shimmers in it. So I just don't know. Like it's just not really a practical palette. I'm gonna keep it anyways because I haven't touched it and I might as well just, you know, in case I want to use it. Then we've got my 3 single eyeshadow palettes that contain Makeup Geek, Anastasia Beverly Hills, I believe this one is, and then random ones from like NYX. I'm gonna keep all of these because I do use these shadows religiously. Then we've got the Laura Lee Los Angeles Cat's Pajama palette. I've only used this a couple times, but I do love this palette a lot, so I'm gonna keep it. I just feel like I'm not even gonna throw away any palettes as much as I need to. Then we've got this horrid Too Faced Glitter Bomb palette. I hated this palette with all my heart. Then we got this Makeup Addictions Holy Glow Volume 1 palette. I'm actually gonna keep this palette because this white shimmery shade is like the most intense white shimmer I've ever used. And also Makeup Addiction just has like some of the best foiled eyeshadows. They're so underrated. No one really talks about them. Sorry, I'm eating a pistachio right now and I don't know why I chose to do that. But they have like some of the best foiled eyeshadows and they're very underrated, so I'm gonna keep that. Then we've got this Naked 2 palette by 100% Pure. I don't think I'm ever gonna use this, and I haven't used it, so I'm gonna give that away. Then we've got this Pacifica eyeshadow palette, which once again, this one doesn't have any matte shadows in it, so how the heck am I supposed to use this? Gonna give it away. Then we've got some bronzers and blushes and a highlight from Nabla Cosmetics. Gonna keep that one. LA Girl, the nudes. Okay, I haven't even opened this one. What the heck? This is how many palettes I get and I don't get the chance to review them or try them out. I just get so many palettes and then I shove them into my drawer and I forget about them. This is the LA Girl, the nudes palette. This actually looks really pretty and it reminds me of the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. I think I'm gonna keep this maybe for like a dupe video or something if it's worth it. Alright, and then we've got this little thing from Tarte. This is, I haven't used this in a video yet, but this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I'm not entirely sure what these two things are over here. This is like a loose, not loose, but like a compact glitter thing. And then this is like, I'm not sure, like a gel glitter thing. I'm not too like intrigued by it, but these 3 colors are so amazing. Like they're the most pigmented eyeshadows ever, especially this color. This one's my favorite. Like so pretty. I need to use these in a video. I just don't know why I haven't. They just are so beautiful and like creamy. Oh dear God. Okay, here's the NYX Earth palette. We all know how I feel about this. Throwing this one away because no one deserves to go through that. We've got this NYX Lingerie palette. I'm gonna keep this one. It is a nice matte eyeshadow palette for like warmer tones, I guess. Then we've got this Cosmetic Metals by NYX. I'm also gonna keep this. It kind of like goes in with the lingerie palette because the lingerie palette is all mattes and these are all shimmers. Next we've got this Stila color correcting thing. I have not used this and I probably will never use it because I don't really like to color correct. Gonna give that away. Then we've got this e.l.f. eyeshadow palette, Nude Rose Gold. I have not even opened it, obviously. This is what it looks like. I think I'm gonna keep this because I do a lot, not a lot, but occasionally I'll do a one brand tutorial with e.l.f. just because they're super affordable and they're cruelty free, so I'll keep this for a future video. Next is the Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette. I've only used this once and I do like the color scheme in this, except for there are only 4 matte shadows in this palette. Again, what's up with brands only putting a few matte shadows when they have all these, like, look how many shimmer shadows there are, and what am I supposed to do with just 4 matte shadows? I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I'm gonna keep this because there are some really pretty colors in it. Then we've got the Beauty Bakery Scoops Elises? Elises? How do you say that? It's like a blush and highlighting palette. I've actually not really had the chance to use this, so I am gonna keep it. This highlighting shade is really pretty and I feel like I could use it. Then we've got the Nightingale palette by Pretty Vulgar. Have I used this in a tutorial? I don't think I've used this in a tutorial. So, and I love Pretty Vulgar's eyeshadows, so I'm gonna keep this for a future video. Then we've got another Pacifica eyeshadow palette. These are all mattes, and they're all just boring colors. I don't know. I just am not excited about these, and I don't think I want to use them. Maybe I will keep these for a trying new makeup video. I don't know. They're just not very exciting, but I'll try them out to see how they do. Then I just got this big Tarte eyeshadow palette. It's just a magnet palette, and I keep it in case I have any single eyeshadows, which I haven't had the opportunity to put any single eyeshadows in, but I'll keep it just in case. All right, then we've got this Pop Beauty eyeshadow palette. It just looks kind of cheap. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm probably never going to use it, so we'll give that one away. Then we've got this NYX Bangkok palette with a lipstick in it. I'm going to give that away because I don't know. I don't need it. Then we've got the Violet Voss Nicole Concealio palette. I love this palette. I'm going to keep it forever. Violet Voss Pro eyeshadow palette, Taupe Notch. I'm having such troubles talking today. This is like a very taupe palette, obviously. I'm gonna keep this one. I do love Violet Voss's eyeshadow palettes. Next, we've got a whole bunch of single eyeshadows from Nabla Cosmetics. I love Nabla's eyeshadows, so I'm gonna keep these. Dream Street by Kathleen Lights and ColourPop. Love this palette as well. Gonna keep it. Next is the Urban Decay Kristen Leanne eyeshadow palette with her collaboration. She did one eyeshadow palette, this one, with a bunch of shimmer shadows and like really drastic colors, and then she did another one that's like matte shadows to kind of go with it. And I haven't had the chance to use this, so if I use this palette again, I'll probably use this one to go with it. Then there are these little compact thingies of the Texas House of Glitters. These glitters are so insane. Like, they're the most beautiful glitters ever. I just haven't really had the chance to look at them, or kind of forgot about them, but they are really, really nice. I need to remember that I have these. They're from like a little indie brand from Etsy. This color right here is freaking amazing. It's so pretty. Then we've got the Forever Nude palette by BH Cosmetics. This thing is so old and they probably don't even sell it anymore, so I'm gonna give this away. Then we've got a bunch of sleek makeup eyeshadow palettes. We've got this one with greens and oranges. This one's a little bit more neutral. I think I've used this for a tutorial before. This one is really neutral. And then we've got this one's a little bit darker, so I think I'm gonna keep 2 of these eyeshadow palettes. Okay, I'm gonna keep the greenish, bluish, orangish one and the other neutral palette. I'm gonna give the rest to my friends because I know a couple of them really like the sleek makeup palettes. And then we've got the NYX Avant Pop eyeshadow palette. I haven't used this since the NYX Face Awards. I'm going to go ahead and give this one away. Alright, and then I'm just gonna quickly show you the palettes over here that I've received over the last month that I haven't been able to put into the drawers. So here is the Tarte 99% Mermaid eyeshadow palette, which, raise your hand if you're over mermaid theme. I don't know, this just doesn't excite me. The eyeshadows themselves, like the actual eyeshadows themselves, are very small. They're just not really pretty. It's not like a mermaid color. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm probably not going to use this. I'm going to give this away. Then there is the Urban Decay Back Talk palette. I just used this in like one of the last tutorials that I did. I'm going to keep this because I did use it. I wasn't completely crazy about this palette, but you never know. Maybe if I use it a couple times, I'll start liking it. Then I just showed you the Sin Urban Decay Blush and Bronzer palette, the 3 natural Too Faced palettes, the Dulce Candy and Pixie collaboration. This is like a bunch of shimmers and highlighters, which are very, very pretty. I'm gonna keep that. Then we've got 2 of these Luminous Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes, which I use these for like a short Instagram video, And these eyeshadows are kind of insane. Like, they are really, really good. So I'm gonna use these for future videos. Next, we've got the Do It For The Gram eyeshadow palette by Beauty Bakery. I did swatch some colors, but I haven't really gone in depth with this palette and tried it out. So I'm gonna keep it for the future. Oh god. Next is the Too Faced Life's a Festival Unicorn, another unicorn theme. We've got some shadows. I just don't really care about unicorn themes anymore. I'm gonna give this away. Next is the BH Cosmetics Studio Pro Ultimate Artistry Shadow Palette. It's got a crap ton of colors. Have I used this one? I think I used this one for a video. And it wasn't like my absolute favorite, but because it has so many different colors, I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. Next is the Pixie and Whaley collaboration. This is her little eyeshadow palette, which I actually used for a video, and I really, really liked it. It was very easy to work with. Then we've got a Pixie and Dulce Candy lipstick palette thing. I just don't like these types of things, and I'm probably never gonna use this. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that away. Next is the Pixie and Chloe Morello blush and eyeshadow palette. I just love Chloe Morello, so I'm gonna keep this. The eyeshadows are pretty basic, but I did use this blush color and I really liked it. Next is the Elf and Christian Siriana palette. I did a whole video based on this palette and I did like it, so I'm gonna keep it. Maybe I'll use it in another video in the future, I don't know. Next is the Urban Decay Naked Petite Heat palette, which is just a matte palette with some of the colors from the actual full-size Heat palette. I'm gonna keep this because I do like these three colors right here. Then we've got the BH Cosmetics Reflection Gilded eyeshadow palette, which these colors look so pretty to me. And I did swatch some of them. I can't remember which ones, but the colors just look really pretty and really vibrant. So I'm excited to use this one, and there are a few others like this. Then we've got this Ofra Pro palette, which has got like a bronzer, 2 highlights, a banana powder, and some eyeshadows. I think I'm gonna go ahead and give this one away for my friends or something. I already have this highlight and I already have this highlight, and I don't really like Ofra's eyeshadows that much, so I'm just gonna give it away to my friends. Next is the Balm Nude Dude palette, and I have not had the chance to use this, but I do love the Balm's eyeshadows, so I'm gonna keep this one. Then we've got this palette by Beauty by Pop Sugar, and I just don't really know what's going on in this palette. These colors don't look super exciting to me. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one away. Next is the BH Cosmetics Mrs. Bella palette, which I did use for a video, and I really liked the colors. The matte colors blend out really well. I didn't really have a chance to use the shimmery colors except for Lumos, which I did like, but I want to try this palette out a little bit more. Then we've got the Naked Original Urban Decay palette, which I didn't have until recently, so I want the chance to try this out because it was such a big deal back in the day. Then we've got the Like a Boss palette by Violet. Oops, that's upside down. Like a Boss palette by Violet Voss. I love these colors. I love Violet Voss eyeshadows, so I'm gonna keep it. Alright, then we've got 3 more of these BH Cosmetics palettes. This one is called L'Amour, I think is how you say it. It's another kind of neutral palette, but it has some red tones in it and a little bit of like olive green tones in it. Keep it. Then we've got the Smoke palette, which it has a really, really pretty blue eyeshadow color that I really want to try out. And then we've got the Rosé palette, which this color like exploded. I'm not sure what happened, but it does look like a really pretty color, so I'm trying my best to keep it compact in there. This one has mostly matte shadows, which I kind of like, but it also has a good variety of shimmer shadows. Gonna keep that one. Oh my god, so many more. Okay, then I've got a bunch of these single eyeshadows by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I did organize them to like different colors, I guess. I'm gonna keep all of these just because I like Anastasia's eyeshadows and they're very expensive, so I don't want to throw them out. Next, we've got 2 of the cream contour palettes by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm gonna keep these for if I do weddings in the future again. Then we've got the light to medium powder contour kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills, which I am also gonna keep. Next is the Early Bird palette by Pretty Vulgar. I'm gonna keep this palette. I love it. I love all of Pretty Vulgar's eyeshadow palettes. Speaking of, here's the Pretty Birdie palette, which I haven't really had the chance to use much, but I do want to use more in the future. Then we've got 2 glow kits by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This one is a little bit of a darker palette, and this one has some fun like purpley pinkish colors in it. I haven't really used the glow kits very much, but I do want to try them more. Then we've got the Suva Beauty eyeshadow palette. I haven't used this and I don't think I'm ever going to use it. It doesn't really have much variety in it, so I'm going to give that away. Then we've got this Hot palette by Deck of Scarlet. Doesn't really excite me. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like just a big eyeshadow or what. I'm gonna give this away. Then we've got this Illuminate palette by Ashley Tisdale. I did use this once and I wasn't super crazy about it. The colors aren't that pigmented, so I'm gonna give it away. Then we've got the Pretty Fun and Fearless by Chloe Morello. This is in collaboration with Ciate London. And I did use this a couple times. I really like this palette, but I just kind of forgot about it, so I want to keep it in case like I want to try it again. Then we've got the Balm Nude Beach palette. I have used this a couple times. I just like the Balm eyeshadow palettes, even though I'm probably not going to use them very much. I like to keep them. Next is the Makeup Addiction Cosmetics Flaming Love palette. I am going to keep this palette just because it has some really vibrant colors that I might want to use in the future. Like I said before, Makeup Addiction Cosmetics has really good foiled eyeshadows. Next is this Zoeva Naturally Yours palette. I have used this a couple times before. I used to love this palette, but it's honestly a little bit boring. So I'm gonna give it away. Not saying that it's not a good palette, it's just I probably won't be using this again in the future. Then we've got the Too Faced The Power of Makeup by Nikki Tutorials. I am going to keep this just like for the memory of it. I remember being super inspired by it and I loved the colors that she picked out, and also I bought it myself when I wasn't really doing well with money, so it's kind of like I kind of cherish it a little bit. Next is the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. I do like this palette and I like the colors and the variety of matte shadows, so I'm going to keep it. Next is this Becca and Jaclyn Hill face palette. I haven't really gotten much use out of it because the bronzer is a little bit too dark for me, the blush is a little bit too dark for me. Really the only color that I'm able to use is Champagne Pop because Prosecco Pop is a little bit too dark for me. I don't know why I bought it, I just wanted to try it out. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and keep it just for the memory of it, I guess. Can you guys tell that I have a problem with letting stuff go? Because I do. Then we've got the Meet Matchmaker palette by The Balm. This one I'm not too crazy about. I just don't really like the setup of it. I don't like how some of the shadows are like right next to each other. I'm gonna give this away. I know that probably one of my friends will love this. Next is the Pixie and Miriam Maculage. Is that how you say it? Maculage. I never know how to pronounce her last name. But she did a collaboration with Pixie a while ago. I'm gonna give this away because the colors, not saying that it's not a good palette, but the colors are just a little bit too dark for me. Like, look how dark these bronzers are. Next is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette. Love this palette. Gonna keep it forever. Then we've got the Into the Sun palette by Glowed Up Cosmetics. I've used this once and I did like it, but I really like the owner of this brand. I like her mindset, I guess. Every purchase they donate so much money to an animal shelter, which I really like, so I like to support them. Then we've got the Fenty Beauty, what's this called? Galaxy palette. I was so excited to get this palette. It is a really nice palette. It's just you can only use it for certain occasions because they're all glitter and they're all very different colors, but it's just nice to have, and I like to support Fenty Beauty, you know I love them. Then we've got the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills, my Ride or Die palette. I'm gonna keep it forever. Then we've got the Too Faced White Peach palette. Haven't really gotten the chance to use it. Maybe I'll use it in the future, so I'm gonna keep it. Then we've got 3 Tartelette palettes. Here's the original all matte. Boring, but I'm gonna keep it. Then we've got the Tartelette Toasted palette, which I actually really like this palette. And then the Tartelette in Bloom palette, which I've only used like once or twice, but I'm gonna keep it. Next we've got 2 Lime Crime palettes, the Venus and Venus 2 palette. The Venus 1 palette is a nice like reddish palette with a couple shimmer shadows, and the Venus 2 palette is like a bluish palette. I haven't really had the chance to use this one. I'm gonna keep both of these palettes. I wish that they weren't so bulky. Like, could they make them a little thinner? But I'm gonna keep it. I do want to try this out. Then we've got some Tartist Pro palettes. Here's the Tartist Pro Glow palette. This is like highlighters and bronzers. I just always forget about this thing, so I'm gonna give it away because I just feel like I'm never gonna use it. Then we've got the Tartist Pro eyeshadow palette. I'm also gonna give this one away. I feel like my friends would really enjoy this palette because it's a nice neutral palette. It doesn't really have any crazy colors in it because my friends don't really like to experiment with colors very much. And we've got this Persona Cosmetics Identity palette, which I've only used once, but I do want to try more because I like Persona Cosmetics. They're kind of really underrated. They're not really well known, so I want to try it a little bit more. Next is the Jouer Springtime palette. Springtime in Paris Matte and Shimmer palette. I do like this. I've used this a bunch before, but I think I'm gonna give it away because I just don't think I'm ever gonna use it again. Then we've got this Pixie It's Judy Time lip palette, which I'm gonna give away because, like I said before, I just don't really like lip palettes. Not saying that it's not a good palette, I just don't like using lipstick like in a palette form, I guess. Then we've got 4 other Too Faced palettes: the chocolate semi-sweet chocolate bar, sweet peach, chocolate bonbons, and the chocolate bar. And then I've got the chocolate gold palette. How many freaking chocolate palettes can they make? Holy crap. I'm gonna keep all of these. I haven't really had the chance to try these many times before, and I'm also just gonna keep them because they're hella expensive. That's like my reasoning for every single palette, is that they're just really freaking expensive and I feel guilty giving them away. Alright, and then this isn't Ofra. Wait, is this Ofra? So some of these shadows are from Painted Earth and some of them are from Ofra, and then we've got these loose glitters from Glitter Injections. But they're really, really old, and if you see, I don't know if you guys can tell, but some of these glitters kind of turn a little bit greenish over time. At first, everyone was like, oh my god, these glitters get moldy, but it's actually the oil in the glitters just getting old. It's not them getting moldy, I guess, but they do expire. You're not supposed to use them after a while, and they are years and years old, so I'm gonna throw those out. Alright, and then we've got these 3 giant freaking palettes from House of Beauty, and I just don't like how long these things are. It doesn't make sense to me, but I do really like these shadows. Maybe they're magnetic. Oh yes, they are. So I'm gonna actually put these in this extra Z palette that I have because I just don't like the shape of these. They're way too long. Okay, I ended up transferring them into an extra Z palette and this Tarte palette that I was talking about before. It actually fits so many of them in there, so that's nice. Alright, so that's it for the second drawer. Now on to the last drawer finally. Oh, this is gonna be so hard to... Okay, we've got this Tarte High Performance something something palette. It's really boring. I'm gonna give it away. Can you tell I'm losing patience? Because I am. Alright, and then we've got the other Naked palettes, the Naked 2, Naked 3, and Naked Smoky to go with the original one. Next is the Beauty Bakery Ice Cream palette. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this one just because it's their very first palette and it's kind of like a keepsake, I guess. Then we've got this Stila, what is this? Matte and Metal eyeshadow palette. I've only used this once, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it away because I'm just like, I have so many other palettes like this, you know? Next is the Velvet 59, the Exotic Lotus palette. I haven't used this in a hot minute, probably like 2 years I haven't used this. I'm going to give it away just because I'm never going to use it again. Then we've got another Deck of Scarlet palette, which I'm going to go ahead and give away because, I don't know, just like it only has 3 shadows, a bronzer and a blush. I don't know, it's kind of random, so I'm going to give it away. Alright, next is the Makeup Addiction Vintage palette, which I haven't actually tried before, I don't think, so I'm going to keep it in case I do want to try it. Then we've got this Tarte Clay palette. I feel like my friends would really, really enjoy this palette, so I'm gonna give that to them. Then we've got the Contour is a Girl's Best Friend by Velvet 59, which I'm gonna go ahead and throw away because this is super, super duper old, and I just probably am never gonna use it again. Then we've got the Too Faced Stardust palette by Vegas Nay. I haven't used this in a long time, but I am also gonna keep this as like a keepsake because this was one of the very first like high-end palettes that I bought for myself, and it was a really big investment for me. I remember like being super stressed about it, but once I got the palette I was so happy. I used it so many times, and that's actually how I got shared a bunch on Vegas Nay's Instagram and like started getting followers on Instagram, and it's just like, it's kind of like a memory for me, so I'm gonna keep it. Then we've got this Suva Beauty eyeshadow palette, which I haven't really tried, but I'm going to give away because I'm just not excited about it. Next is this Iconic London contour palette. This is also, I wonder how old this is. I want to say this is pretty old. The little concealers and stuff are like kind of dry, and you kind of have to rub a little bit for them to come back to life. I'm gonna throw this out just because it's super old. Then we've got two like circle-ish palettes from Tarte. This is the Rainforest of the Sea palette, and this is the Rainforest of the Sea 2 Volume 2 palette. I do like these, but there's just like a lot of light shimmery eyeshadows, and you can't do much with them, so I just don't know if I want to keep these. I think I'm gonna give them away. Next is the Tarte Man-Eater palette, which is like a nice neutral small palette. I remember I used this for the NYX Face Awards finale show. I used this palette on my eyes for my makeup that night, and I really liked this palette for a long time, but I'm gonna give it away just because I'm probably not gonna use it anymore. It's kind of like I just have so many other palettes like this, you know? Next is the Wet n Wild Bare Essentials Au Naturel eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna keep this just because I do actually like this eyeshadow palette, and I like to have a few like Wet n Wild and affordable eyeshadow palettes on hand. Next is this Ciate London eyeshadow palette. I'm going to give this away, or maybe I should throw it away because I've used it so much before, but I used to use this all the time back in the day. But again, like I've said a million times in this video, I just can't see myself using it as much anymore. Then we've got the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette, which I actually forgot about, and I love this bottom color right here. It's super pigmented, and just all the colors in this palette actually are really nice. So I'm gonna keep this maybe for a future video. Then we've got a few more The Balm palettes. Here is the Appetit palette, and it looks like this, but you can actually bring it down and you have some big eyeshadows to work with. I'm gonna give this one away just because I probably won't use it again. Next is the Meet Matte Nude eyeshadow palette. It's all matte eyeshadows. I used to use this like crazy back in the day, but I'm gonna go ahead and give this one away. Next is the Lottie London Shadow Swatch eyeshadow palette. I think I used this for a few videos back in the day, but I'm gonna give it away just because I'm not too crazy about it. There's nothing really that special. And there's this weird Lime Crime. It looks like kid makeup almost. This is like an eyeshadow palette. I just don't really get it, so I'm gonna give it away because I just don't get it. Then we've got this Dented Too Faced I Want Candy palette, the collaboration with Candy Johnson. I actually did really like this palette, but I'm gonna give it away just because I'm probably not gonna use it again. And also this palette is just like super chunky. It's just, it takes up a lot of room, and it's kind of unnecessary. Next is the Rainbow palette by Violet Voss. It has a bunch of really pretty vibrant colors, and I'm gonna keep this in case I want to do like a really bright green eyeshadow look or a really bright purple eyeshadow look. Then we've got the Makeup Addiction Meadow palette, and I'm also gonna keep this because I love this color and I love this color, and I want to use this green color eventually. And then we've got the Makeup Addiction Holy Glow Fantasy palette, which I think I'm gonna give this one away because I already have like these 3 colors or these 4 colors in the other Makeup Addiction Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes. Then I got the It's Judy Time eyeshadow palette. I do like this, but I'm probably just gonna give it away because this is in, all of these palettes are in the back, very end of the drawer, and these are the palettes that I don't use like at all, so I'm probably gonna give these all away. Then we've got the Urban Decay and Gwen Stefani palette, which this thing is so old and I honestly did not like it, so I'm going to give that one away. Then we've got the NYX Beauty School Dropout palette. This has just so much stuff in it, and I did use it for a video once, but it's just so annoying how you have to like flip so many things open, and it's really bulky and there's a lot going on. So I'm gonna give that away. Then we've got this Master Shadow Collection Icon Pro eyeshadow palette by Absolute New York, which I have never used before. But there's just something about these big giant eyeshadow palettes that I don't really like. Also, we've got like 10 versions of the same brown in this palette, so that's cool. I'm gonna give this one away. BH Cosmetics Foiled Eyes 28 eyeshadow palette, 28 color eyeshadow palette. This is what it looks like. I've had it for a few years now. I'm gonna give it away. I don't even know what this is. oh my god. I think I bought this on Amazon when I first started getting into makeup, and I don't even know what brand this is, if it even is a brand. I'm going to throw this out. It smells like gross kids makeup. Oh my god, Sedona Lace. This is the Sedona Lace whatever eyeshadow palette. This is the first eyeshadow palette that a brand had ever sent to me, and I remember being so excited about it. But what the heck, like this is so... These shades over here are all the same. These are all the same browns. That's insane. Yeah, gonna throw that out. Then we've got the Ulta contouring kit. I used to use this thing like crazy. I'm gonna give that away, or actually I'm gonna throw it out because it's just really old. Then we've got this Ofra eyeshadow palette, which I do not really like Ofra's eyeshadows that much. I'm gonna give that away. Another Ofra eyeshadow palette, all matte colors. Again, don't really like their shadows, gonna give it away. Then we got the Tarteist Pro Glow To Go, like mini bronzer and highlighting thingy majig. I'm gonna give that away. Sigma Warm Neutrals, giving it away. Throw kindness around like confetti. Oh, actually, this was the palette that I used for the finale show of the NYX Face Awards. Not that other one. This was the one that I used, and I used to use this all the time. I loved this palette. I'm gonna throw it away though because it's really, really used and it's pretty old. Then we've got another Tarteist Pro Glow palette. I don't know why I had two of them, but I'm gonna give this one away as well. Then we've got this Japanesque eyeshadow palette. I haven't even opened this, but I'm gonna give it away. And then the Tarte Man Eater palette. I think I used this like probably once, but I'm also gonna give that away. Are you guys proud of me? I have such a big pile over here of stuff that I'm giving away. All right, now enjoy this montage of me attempting to organize everything. Okay, so we've got the 3 bottom drawers all organized, and they're organized to where I can actually see all the palettes. And there's a little extra space for more palettes to go in when I receive more. But yeah, that's what they all look like right now. I'm really happy with how much I threw away. These are all the palettes that I'm giving away, and then these over here. And these over here are the ones that I'm throwing away. Alright guys, that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you for coming along with me, helping me. Well, not really helping me. You guys didn't do anything. But watching me organize my palettes, I feel so much better about this. This whole cabinet is pretty much all organized because this is my lipsticks and my palette cabinet. So that feels good to have like one solid thing done with. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye guys.